Hello, Scorpio. This is your reading for February 2017, and it'll probably be your reading for Valentine's Day as well, because it is February 14th. And I know a lot of you are kind of anxious about what might be going on. Whoa. That was the Ace of Wands that tried to peek out. A card did fall out, by the way. It is the Hermit. Okay. So I'll put that over there. Okay, I'm going to cut the cards in just a few more seconds. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put this card over here. It's Karma. So you have two major arcana cards already, Scorpio. This is the Hermit, which is about solitude, but also just taking space to figure things out. It's about being wise and cautious and getting the big picture. And then I have Karma, which is about a huge change, usually a change for good. And after that change, it usually brings transformation, a new life. And then I have Seven of Swords. Okay, so what I find interesting, and I've said this before, a lot of the readings have started out with some very strong major arcana cards. And what I think I'm seeing here in your past influences, especially with the Hermit, being alone, taking a solitary journey, trying to find enlightenment, and then everything gets shaken up with the Karma card because it's usually called Judgment in different tarot decks. But this is about bigger forces that you're not aware of or that you have no control over that come into your life and just change everything around, just switches everything up. And you might not appreciate it when the Karma card happens. You might not like a huge shift or change or something that comes out of nowhere and then nothing is the same afterwards. But usually karma, when it comes, it's because there's a bigger picture. There's a karmic circle of decisions and actions and the consequences of those decisions and actions that always comes back around. Okay? So usually when karma comes, it's not just something isolated that comes out of the blue that has nothing to do with you. Usually karma comes because we make decisions about our destiny and our life, and that comes back around, and it's sort of like dominoes, based on the decision you make. It's sort of like one domino falls after the other based on which domino you're pushing over, but there's still an action, a result because of that cause and effect. And it always comes back around. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing that you always have control over your life. You can always change your reality. Okay? And so when I see this next to the Hermit card, yeah, I do see a lot of contemplation, thinking things over, making a decision. And once you make a decision, then the karma happens. That's when the change in your life happens. That's when there are shifts. Okay? So I don't think this is anything to be afraid of. If it was in reverse, maybe there would be more regret. Maybe there would be a decision that wasn't for the best. But yeah, I think these two combinations, these two cards make an interesting combination. But after karma, it does lead to this Seven of Swords. And this is a very interesting card because the interpretation can differ based on what's happening and what's surrounding the other cards. So far, all I have are this moment of decision making and trying to get wisdom and to be cautious. And then I get this huge shakeup with karma based on whatever decision came before you. And then I have Seven of Swords. And sometimes this is about scheming and using your street smarts and being, how can I say it? It's sort of like, don't let your right hand know what the left hand is doing. Keep things to yourself. But in relationship readings, it can be about cheating, dishonesty, someone keeping secrets from you. Okay? But it's about being clever. It's about thinking on your feet, flying by the seat of your pants, so to speak. But it's also, swords are always about knowledge, wisdom, decision making, your intellectual energy. So I'm not necessarily, for some reason, I'm not seeing this as cheating or dishonesty. I'm thinking about this as making plans to figure things out, but not being overt about those things. But it can be that someone in your life is keeping something from you and they're not telling you a reason why a big change happened, which is what the karma card is about. There was a big decision or a big change and you don't know why or how that happened. And this could be a secret that someone's keeping from you. That's the main thing about the Seven of Swords, whether it's a positive sense where you start coming up with a new plan, or you start making new decisions, you start plotting a way through a new agenda. Or it can be negative. It can mean like someone is keeping something from you. They're not letting you know what they're doing. Okay? So keep that in mind as I go into your present energy. Now, I have this King of Wands reversed. And whenever fire is reversed, because fire is very powerful, it's passionate, it's quick, it's confident, it can mean someone who's controlling, someone who has a bad temper, someone who doesn't have patience. The next card is a Ten of Pentacles. And this is always about, tens are always about starting a new cycle, but it's about prosperity. Pentacles can be about happy family, a home, children, family. It's a very stable type of situation where everything is working out well as far as prosperity. You have a happy home, you have stability. The only problem is now we have this King of Wands who might be disrupting that. That's one thing that I'm picking up here. The next card is a King of Cups, and that's interesting. I think in another reading I had a King of Wands and a King of Cups, but they were both upright. So when I look at this King of Wands reversed, and then on the other side I see this King of Cups, I see lack of control. Okay, but I also see this, and this probably is you because this is all about water. Cups represent water. Okay, so I'm seeing this with this Ten of Pentacles in the middle. I'm kind of seeing on the other side of this happy home or prosperity or relationship, I'm kind of seeing this battle between you and someone who is a little self-centered, a little selfish, a little temperamental. And I'm not thinking of that in harsh terms. I'm not necessarily seeing someone who's abusive, but I do see someone who has a difficult time focusing on the relationship. It's always about them. And I see this King of Cups or you as someone who's more emotionally nurturing, who is trying to be the emotionally mature person in the relationship. And once again, Scorpios, you love hard and you play hard. And also keep in mind we have fire and water here. And sometimes, yeah, there can be a huge conflict. It doesn't mean that someone who's primarily their sun sign is Scorpio and someone who might be an Aries, it doesn't mean that the elements of fire and water can never get along. Okay. Um, but sometimes, especially when you have one element that's reversed, yes, there can be a lot of problems. And that can get in the way of this happy relationship or this stable home. I know some of you are married, some of you are not. And also, I'm very much aware that some of you are single. Um, I think one interpretation for you single people is this contentment and happiness. Maybe you're very happy with your job, you have everything you need, but you're struggling, not just with your emotions, but your passion and your motivation and a direction to take with your love life. Okay. But let me go into your future influences to continue getting a bigger picture here. Now, I have in your future, we have this Page of Wands. And pages, they're always represented by younger people or children. And pages are about new beginnings, starting off on a new adventure. Okay. And you could be very excited about that. It also represents to me loyalty, devotion, and commitment. I think it's interesting though, this Page of Wands is right under this King of Wands reversed. We go from a king who's the ruler, who's the older person, who's the senior, and then we go back to this beginner, okay? Um, this young child. And sometimes also, remember, pages could also mean happy news. There's going to be some information, happy news or information you've been waiting to hear that will be revealed to you or sent to you or that you end up receiving. Okay? It can mean a new opportunity, messages of a new opportunity. So I'm kind of seeing that as a good thing because maybe in this relationship or love life, even if you're single, maybe some of your energies were redirected. One situation I'm thinking of is maybe you were dating the wrong people. Maybe you were going to bars when you should have been going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind that kings are always about any king. King of Cups, King of Wands, King of Pentacles. Kings are always about direction and taking control and acting on direction. And so this King of Wands, which is fiery and passionate and motivated, maybe this is in reverse because that direction was a little bit misguided here. Okay. And once again, this can still represent another person, that someone was either in conflict with you, or maybe you and another person were not on the same page, that they were not so much pushing you away or, yelling at you or being angry with you. But it can definitely mean that the other person was misguided. Okay? And so when we get to this Page of Wands in your future, this is like a new devotion beginning to show loyalty and friendship. But it can also represent a happy message that you might receive. Okay? You should prepare yourself for something good coming your way that will be a positive force in your life. And then I have this Queen of Wands. This is so crazy. So all this fire that's showing up here in your life, Scorpio. So now we go up to a queen. So we got knocked down from a king to a page, a younger person. But then we have this Queen of Wands, and queens are always passive. Kings are active, they take direction, they decide the direction, but queens just sort of follow. The energy of a queen is more personal and self-conscious, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, she's confident, and it's still about enthusiasm and passion, but it's about just getting out there and taking advantage of every single opportunity. So I'm seeing some wonderful shifts here, especially with this King of Wands that was sort of in the wrong direction. Because then we go to the Child, which is the Page, and then we go up just a little bit more to the Queen. Okay? So having a passion for life and making things happen, and bringing people into your circle who are nurturing and positive and inspiring them as well. The Queen of Wands is always inspiring and creative. And then I have this Ten of Swords. Now, this could be a very negative card. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, because 10 is always the number of completion. Okay? You see this man stabbed in the back several times, right? And sometimes this is a situation about betrayal. It can mean people out to get you who betray you and hurt you. And it gets very bad. You feel like things are in the worst case scenario. And it can mean a very, very deep wound. Okay? But the thing about the Ten of Swords is that once you reach that number 10, after 10, you get a new beginning. You end that cycle. You know, sometimes this is about understanding a lesson here about why you ended up getting hurt and why you ended up being betrayed. Okay, or why you ended up ignoring your instincts. But I do see this in a positive way, in that after this Ten of Swords, it's over. And you get to, you see this owl. You see this owl in the background. The owls are always about wisdom. But you also get a sense with daylight in the background that there's a new day and that you will recover. Okay, well, he's dead, obviously. But the Ten of Swords is always about going through the worst situation you could possibly have, and then healing and being able to move on. But many times this Ten of Swords happens because there's something we didn't pay attention to. We feel something's not right and we ignore it. And then we end up being in a position to where the things that we had that gut instinct about actually happen. But I feel that based on this Seven of Swords, that whatever was happening, remember what I said about secrets, Scorpio? I feel like this Ten of Swords is showing up because whatever secrets or intentions another person might have had, especially if it's someone who's an air sign. And air signs are always thinking and keeping things to themselves. They don't necessarily telegraph everything they're doing. I get a sense that this Ten of Swords has a lot to do with the Seven of Swords, of secrets and things you don't know about and things maybe you were kept in the dark about. They finally come to light and you deal with it, and you deal with it with the energy of this Page of Wands and this Queen of Wands, that because of this energy, it's finally brought to light, you deal with it, and now you're done. The number 10 means you're done. You move on. Okay? So I'm not necessarily seeing this as necessarily devastating. I get a sense that maybe, especially with this Hermit also in the background, that you've been trying to figure things out, and that there were things that someone was keeping from you, for some of you, and I'm not saying this was the situation for everybody, but this Hermit as the first card in your spread and still influences everything else that follows, it's telling me that maybe there's a situation in your love life where you were trying to figure this person out. This person was too mysterious. You didn't know what was going on with them. Maybe they weren't communicating with you. They were keeping you in the dark. And this King of Wands pointing in the wrong direction sort of gave you a heads up that, there were things going on with the way they were acting or a conflict you were having here. All of a sudden, things start being brought to light. Okay, especially with this Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands, that maybe there's healing with this person. This person sort of got stable, or maybe this person was going through something that in the relationship that was having a huge effect on you. But whatever the case, when you get to this Ten of Swords, you're going through the Seven of Swords, and then you elevate through this situation and all the conflict and the negativity, and you finally get to the Ten of Swords, where I feel, on my intuition, that things are finally going to be resolved. I see this as resolution, not necessarily that bad things are going to happen to you. I get a sense that you already see some of the conflicts that are happening. And then by the time the energy is reversed from this King of Wands, by the time things are resolved with this King of Wands, and that's what I'm seeing here when we go from Page to Queen of Wands, that things are in the process of being resolved. It's a process of resolving things once and for all, and going through the worst and just getting through it. Okay, so I am now going to shuffle for that outcome card. And I'm not sure what's going to follow after this Ten of Wands. What's going to be the fallout after all of that drama? Okay. 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 All right, now we have another page, a Page of Pentacles. And this is also a good card because this is about the start of problem solving. This is and Pentacles are good because not only is it about a stabilizing earth energy, but the Page of Pentacles is always about fixing things, resolving problems, taking your time to figure something out, going back to the beginning to figure things out. So for some of you, all of this drama that I'm saying with this King of Wands reversed, it could have been about a huge issue or problem in a relationship that just needed to go through a lot of conflict, maybe even just taking a break or having an argument. I see an argument here with the King of Wands, not a serious one, but just a conflict to where two people separate, they go to their different corners here. And then it seems like there seems to be a lot of resolution here. And then people make up and they try to resolve the problem for good. They start to resolve the problem. They're like, let's start over. Let's try to resolve whatever's coming between us here, especially with this Ten of Pentacles here. It just seems as if with this Ten of Pentacles, a lot of you might even be living with someone and the home life has gotten pretty chaotic with this conflict. So the theme is a lot of figuring things out and problem solving, especially with this Hermit, especially with the Seven of Swords, and especially with these two pages here, which are about getting messages and starting over and beginning and seeing things differently. Okay. So February, especially heading into Valentine's Day, because I do know that some of you might have a little bit of Valentine's Day drama. What I am seeing for you, Scorpio, especially with all of this fire and air, um, I kind of see things getting a little rocky, having conflicts, relationship turbulence for some of you. And then I'm kind of seeing someone who might pull back and just do a reset. But whatever the case may be, this Page of Pentacles is sort of like reassurance that whatever conflict you were going through throughout the month of February and even through March, things are finally going to get resolved. Whatever problem or issues you and this other person are having, or whatever issues you're having as a single person, they're going to be resolved. You're going to figure things out, so to speak. And they're not going to be hidden or secret. They're not going to be these big events that come out of nowhere. It just seems as if you're going to take everything in and just be able to have a better game plan for the relationship and a better way of working things out. Okay, so that was my reading. And for those of you who took advantage of my video readings for $15, I do have a new special, which is sort of like a relationship energy reading, where many times people say, I just want to know about my situation with my boyfriend, my girlfriend, or I have a crush on someone, I'm attracted to someone, but I'm not sure how they feel. And even if you're single, I've had people like, well, I'm by myself. I just want to know if a relationship will be coming my way. So the relationship energy reading is all about you getting insight about what's getting in the way of love, what's getting in the way of your happiness, and what should you expect for the future. And a little bit, some of it might be a little bit of advice where the tarot gives you a bigger picture of what's going on with you and what you're struggling with. So I hope you guys take advantage of that. So I've enjoyed reading for you guys, and I got such a huge response from the video readings. So I look forward to doing this new reading. It's not the readings that I do here. It's a totally different spread. So check out the promotion video. I think you'll find it very interesting. And once again, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, as always. And I'll continue reading your comments. So I hope you have a wonderful February. Love yourself, relax, release your expectations. Try not to get involved in all the hype of Valentine's Day because, it's just a fake holiday anyway, as far as I'm concerned. I feel that we should all be moving towards love every day of the year. Sometimes I think Valentine's Day is so hyped up and you're supposed to be with someone. So I know that for a lot of single people, Valentine's Day is a very tough holiday to deal with, especially if someone broke up with you or if you've been single for a while. So try not to let all the hype get to you. Okay? Find your own find your own little space of happiness, and just know that even if you're not with someone for Valentine's Day, love will come. Okay? And always have those positive expectations. When you have those positive expectations, that can make all the difference in the world. Okay? So take care. I hope to talk to you soon. I'll see you on YouTube. Love and light to you.